Our next guest has been doing the same gig for 20 years. He clocks up the special anniversary this week, and he's joining us via FaceTime. Here he is.
Hello.
There he is.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Stefanovic.
Just came out of the loo.
Oh, we called you at a bad time, did we?
No, just trying to catch up on everything, how it is in the breakfast shift.
Yeah.
Now, Karl, big week for you. If you don't get cancelled within the next 24 hours, you're going to make 20 years, my friend.
Well, I don't know how I haven't got cancelled before now, as you guys know. It's like yourselves. I did have a course I was cancelled for a year, but
Oh, you did
miraculously.
too.
Sabbatical.
I've
Not
been
many people make the comeback, do they?
I've been in my relationship for about 20 years, Karl. We called it the quarter-life crisis when the missus and I had the break. So that was the midlife crisis at the Today Show. Let's refer to it as that.
Oh, all right. I wasn't going to go personal in this interview, but if you're happy to, that's fine, mate. It all started. No, I had a great time. I got to go and travel around with my wife, and it was, if you're going to have a year off, it may as well be overseas and
Yeah, it was quite good timing for you to get that year off. You got like an extended honeymoon. That's a dream.
Karl, what are you doing to celebrate 20 years?
Well, I was talking about this the other day, and I don't think there's much planned. I mean, Channel 9, we're going through, some budget cuts. This is why we can't afford Clint on the Today Show.
I was about to say, can you get your hands off our man, Karl?
No, I'm pursuing him with great gusto. As you know, I've taken it upon myself to he's the only person I've ever mentored at the Nine Network.
And look at how that's turned out.
He's got you there.
No, they're all lining up to be mentored by me. Aren't they, Clint?
Oh, absolutely.
What would you say is the single greatest thing you've learned from me over the years?
Oh, there's a few. There was a Logie's after party in your room at Crown, which I really thoroughly enjoyed.
I popped into one of them
I think
once.
you might have as well.
Yes. Well, and the thing is, I think the great thing about when you mentor someone and they not only equal you but go better than you is when I saw you guys at Gather Around last time.
Oh, yeah.
And boy, oh boy, I mean, that night for Clint, when he was on that little Vespa and then he was on a scooter, and he got lost, he got locked up. I mean, this is all stuff that I would never have done.
The
Actually, I have
highlights.
done.
He's hoping to get the year off, Carlos.
The highlight for me was leaving Adelaide after Gather Round, and there's Clint and Karl sitting there both outside the lounge because they couldn't get in, both just in the food court, sitting in the chairs looking so somber.
They were so hungover and you couldn't get into the lounge. I think we saw you sitting on the floor at one point.
Yep, and I was like, there it is, Channel 9 in all its glory.
That's the future in good hands.
Well, the thing is, we unfortunately we get breathalyzed. The only people in the world that get breathalyzed before we go into a lounge. But that's part of the rich tapestry of being in the relationship that we're in. But hopefully he'll. I think we've still got some time to get Clint on board.
I don't think so. I think you and I are going to have an actual fight over him.
I know. Well, I'm happy to do. Actually, why don't we do that?
Oh,
okay.
Geez.
Where and when?
I'm happy for you to take him, and I'll throw in Lauren.
That's because he wants Sarah Arvo.
Yeah,
he's got the hot for Sarah Arvo, so he's trying to trade up.
Yeah, we'll trade up.
She's smart. Great. What about we could do one of those jelly wrestling. Can they do that these days?
I don't care, but I'll fight you anyway for Clint. Get your hands off him. Get your hands off him.
This.
Mate, you've had a huge. Was this the 50th as well?
Yeah, 50.
Yeah,
He's 50.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Still recovering from that one.
So if you didn't have the year off, your 20 years and your 50 years would have lined up.
Yeah, no, you've got to bring these things together when you can. As you guys know, look, I've known you guys for a long, long time, and no one hits it harder in breakfast than all four of us. And so it's a miracle. It's a miracle to be still part of this, and it's a lovely thing to wake up in the morning, as you know, to go to your listeners and for me to go to my viewers is a real privilege. So long may it continue, I say.
Karl, we've got you quite close up on FaceTime.
What's happened?
You're looking good. Has someone gone to Turkey recently? How's the top?
No, that's all fake. That's all fake. They just wedge it in there at night. I come in, it's all Ray Martins. I've got a few of them here, actually.
Can you just leave them for me on a weekend?
Yeah.
We do share a dressing room.
You don't need it, mate. Look, just take your shirt off for me. Give me a birthday.
Oh, no,
present.
don't.
Hey,
even
speaking
start.
of photo shoots, Stella.
Oh,
what
what
were
about
you
it?
doing paddling around in the water there in your suit, big fella?
Yeah, front page of Stella Mag is coming out of the ocean in
It's
a
called
suit.
the cover.
The
Sorry.
merman.
Yeah. Well, I obviously take a great delight in checking these things out before I do them and have editorial approval. They said meet at Maroubra Beach, and I met it there, and then I was coming out of the ocean. It's a beautiful thing. You've just got to get into character when you're doing these things.
It's very Halle Berry and James Bond.
Hang on. So this isn't a green screen job. They actually put you in the ocean
No.
in a suit.
In his strides.
No, it's all about the cutbacks. We don't have green screens here anymore.
I would have loved to have seen the locals at Maroubra Beach going, look at this guy's been on a bender again.
No, there is a story there.
He really is cooked.
These kids were going past, going, "Hey, Stefo, you wanker! What are you doing in the water, mate? No one goes in the water with a suit on, you wanker!" Anyway, it was an invaluable experience. Me reconnecting with my roots in Maroubra.
Do you often get that support when you're out and about, Carl?
A lot of it. When I'm leaving the racetrack, as Clint would know only too well, it's generally, "Hey, Carlos, Koshy, you're a wanker." There's a lot of wanker stuff. "Hey, Stefanovic. It's a beautiful I love leaving the racetrack late in public.
It's fun. Hey, Carlos, who's the worst person you've interviewed in 20 years?
I think Julia Roberts. It's a bit shocking, this.
Really?
Yeah, but it was apparently it was just a bad film, this Mona Lisa, which I never watched. And she said, "Have you watched the film?"
No.
And I said, "Yes." And she goes, "What happened in the first scene?" I said,
no.
You didn't watch it. And so she was just frightfully bad. But I think it was a bad day and a bad film. So, but that's always the one I say is the worst experience I've had on air.
And who's your favourite to interview? Who's been the best interview?
I think you guys are right up there. I mean,
Thought so.
The commitment, how you guys have crossed over, faced sheer adversity and come back from it. That's a great Australian story and a great media story. I'm looking forward to going to the ABC and replacing Michael Rowland and having a similar effect on the audience.
Trust him to relate to us getting fired. Hey, Carl, congratulations, mate. 20 years is huge in this industry and in a job like that. Well done, mate. We couldn't imagine morning TV without you.
I love you. I'll see you at karaoke in Melbourne and we'll have that fight there.
Can't wait. Bring it on.
Carl,
I've got the gloves ready.
And I love you, mate. You've done a lot for me personally and professionally, so thank you, mate.
Take your shirt off. Give the people what they want.
I'll do it in our dressing room, just you and me.
That's ours.
You do, right?
I'll take the hair off in a sec.
Gonna be a good day. Jason Lauren.
Wake up feeling good.
On Nova 100.
Jason Lauren.
Follow them on socials. Nova.